What does the Bible say about hair? Leviticus 13:40. If a man's hair falls out from his head, he is bald, he is clean. Leviticus 14:9. And on the seventh day he shall shave off all his hair from his head, his beard, and his eyebrows. He shall shave off all his hair, and then he shall wash his clothes and bathe his body in water, and he shall be clean. Numbers 6:5. All the days of his vow of separation, no razor shall touch his head, until the time is completed for which he separates himself to the Lord. He shall be holy. He shall let the locks of hair of his head grow long. Numbers 6:18. And the Nazarite shall shave his consecrated head at the entrance of the tent of meeting, and shall take the hair from his consecrated head, and put it on the fire that is under the sacrifice of the peace offering. Judges 16:17. And he told her all his heart, and said to her, A razor has never come upon my head, for I have been a Nazarite to God from my mother's womb. If my head is shaved, then my strength will leave me, and I shall become weak and be like any other man. Judges 16:22. But the hair of his head began to grow again after it had been shaved. 2 Samuel 14:26. And when he cut the hair of his head, for at the end of every year he used to cut it, when it was heavy on him, he cut it. He weighed the hair of his head, 200 shekels by the king's weight. Ezra 9:3. As soon as I heard this, I tore my garment and my cloak and pulled hair from my head and beard and sat appalled. Nehemiah 13:25. And I confronted them and cursed them and beat some of them and pulled out their hair. And I made them take an oath in the name of God, saying, You shall not give your daughters to their sons, or take their daughters for your sons or for yourselves. Job 4:15. A spirit glided past my face. The hair of my flesh stood up. Job 41:32. Behind him he leaves a shining wake. One would think the deep to be white-haired. Psalm 40:12. For evils have encompassed me beyond number. My iniquities have overtaken me, and I cannot see. They are more than the hairs of my head. My heart fails me. Psalm 69:4. More in number than the hairs of my head are those who hate me without cause. Mighty are those who would destroy me, those who attack me with lies. Song of Solomon 4:1. Behold, you are beautiful, my love. Behold, you are beautiful. Your eyes are doves behind your veil. Your hair is like a flock of goats leaping down the slopes of Gilead. Isaiah 3:24. Instead of perfume, there will be rottenness, and instead of a belt, a rope, and instead of well-set hair, baldness, and instead of a rich robe, a skirt of sackcloth, and branding instead of beauty. Jeremiah 7:29. Cut off your hair and cast it away. Raise a lamentation on the bare heights, for the Lord has rejected and forsaken the generation of his wrath. Ezekiel 5:1. And you, O son of man, take a sharp sword. Use it as a barber's razor and pass it over your head and your beard. Then take balances to weigh and divide the hair. Daniel 7:9. As I looked, thrones were placed, and the Ancient of Days took his seat. His clothing was white as snow, and the hair of his head like pure wool. His throne was fiery flames. Its wheels were burning fire. Matthew 5:36, and do not take an oath by your head, for you cannot make one hair white or black. Matthew 10:30, but even the hairs of your head are all numbered. Luke 7:38, and standing behind him at his feet, weeping, she began to wet his feet with her tears, and wiped them with the hair of her head, and kissed his feet, and anointed them with the ointment. Luke 12:7, why even the hairs of your head are all numbered. Fear not, you are of more value than many sparrows. 1 Corinthians 11:6, for if a wife will not cover her head, then she should cut her hair short. But since it is disgraceful for a wife to cut off her hair or shave her head, let her cover her head. 1 Corinthians 11:14, does not nature itself teach you that if a man wears long hair, it is a disgrace for him? 1 Corinthians 11:15, but if a woman has long hair, it is her glory, for her hair is given to her for a covering. Revelation 9:8, they had hair like women's hair, and their teeth were like lions' teeth. Like, share, and subscribe for more interesting Bible topics. Bible verses from the English Standard Version, ESV, about hair, presented in order as they appear in Scripture. These verses highlight various aspects of hair in the Bible, including strength, beauty, humility, and divine knowledge.